Hi, I'm Neil. Welcome to California Builds. Today I'm working on some fundamentals in building these neat little triangular shelves. To get started, I grabbed a piece of birch from my local material store and ripped it down to its appropriate width, which was 4.5 inches. I also happened to have some maple plywood left over from making my workbenches and decided to make a shelf from that as well. After ripping the strips down, the next step was to cut them into their respective sides. To do that, I first had to set up a small extension on my chop saw's fence and clamp a piece of wood to it to act as a stop block. That got me the correct length, but I also needed to set the blade to 30 degrees to get the correct angle. I simply cut the bevel into one side, then flipped the piece around and cut the board while it was set up against the stop block. Then it was just a matter of flipping and cutting until I had enough pieces. Next, I needed to do a little hand sanding and knock off any extra bits from the edges to ensure that when I assembled it, each corner was nice and even. You can see that each end sort of terminates against the flat portion of the joining piece. I thought this was kind of a cool detail that allows them to be batched out quickly since each piece is the same size. From there, it was time to glue the pieces up. To secure the boards while the glue dried and to provide a little bit more stability, I went ahead and added some small brad nails into the joints. Since these shelves are meant to hang, I don't really want to run the risk of placing something heavy on it and having it collapse. I doubt that would actually happen, but I tend to overbuild things and, just in case. After the assembly was done, it was time to sand everything down again and get it nice and smooth. I first tried hand sanding everything, but quickly my wrists got really tired, so I just got out the orbital sander to take care of the rest. I did a few passes at 150 grit and then moved up to 220 so that way I can get ready for applying the finish. I decided to try out a wipe-on poly for these shelves. I really like the natural color of both the birch and the maple, and I thought that the poly did a good job of keeping it sort of with that natural look. I ended up applying 2 coats with a light sanding in between. I'm not really planning on putting anything too rough into these shelves, so that should be plenty durable for my needs. Finally, to hang them up, I decided to use some small picture hanging brackets. I figure these would do a good job of supporting the shelf from one point, as well as keep the nail head close to the wall when I mount it. I did my best to center it at the top point of the shelf, and then to add a little balance and prevent the shelf from rubbing on the wall, I added some little clear bumper pads to the bottom. And here they are. I really like how they turned out, and I've got a place to display some small trinkets now. Most of all, after spending a lot of time building some larger pieces of furniture, this project was a lot of fun to work on in my spare time. So that's it for this project. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more videos from me, be sure to subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time on California Builds.